Hi, I'm Bob Murray and welcome to another edition of Delaware Valley Outdoors. I'm here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. to do some fishing on the Potomac River. I got the Washington Monument in front of me, got the Jefferson Memorial behind me, and we're going to do some great fishing, so stay tuned. We're back with you now. We're on a little cove, I shouldn't say little, but a cove on the Potomac River here. And again, I'm fishing with my good fishing partner, Bill Kramer, throwing some spinner baits. And what are you throwing, Bill?
So a little trap.
Little rattle trap, and we're trying to get some bass. We got some pretty good wind out on the main part of the Potomac, so we're back in these coves and we're going to try to catch some bass. Bill, you know, we're on such a big piece of water here, and it's hard for just the average guy to come down here and find some water. And one of the things I always recommend is using a guide. And your guide down here, why use a guide?
Take the frustration out of fishing. we take the frustration out of catching fish. Is a fairly large body of water. We're on the water every day. We can show you where to fish, certain seasonal patterns. You know, like right now we're in the springtime, majority of the fish are in 4 foot of water or less. You know, where to fish, how to fish, what to do each season, where you can run your boats, where you can't run your boats. One of the worst things down here is this is an old fishery. I mean, it's an old river, industrial river, and it's got a lot of submerged obstructions in it and stuff. And you can tear your boat apart real easy. A lot of the pros have come here and torn the boats up by hitting rock piles and old pilings of barge landings. There's a place called Fox Ferry upstream. It comes about, I don't know, 150 feet off the shoreline, and you're in 16 foot of water. It comes up to 2 foot of water, and it's barely covered at a high tide.
So you could really,
and most people think, I swear, get out here on a body of water, they think you can just run anywhere, right? You can't.
Right.
I mean, we're in, you know, how deep of water are we in here? Well, this is fairly deep because it's high tide. Right. I mean, you can idle around in this, but you couldn't put it up on a plane in here. But it's, you know, people just seem to think you can just get out on a body of water and run around. It's like if you went from here to Canada, you've never been there before, would you take a map?
Right.
Would you look at it? Yes, right. And yes.
Right.
I mean, it's when you get to a new body of water, always get a good map of it. Always look at it and find out where you are on that body of water in accordance with the map. Learn how to read maps. A lot of folks can't read maps. I mean,
that's
learn
important.
How to read them. That's very, very important.
But for the average guy to come out here, it's best to get a guide.
Right.
And,
you know, learn the water.
Put you out here.
Man, you can learn the water real fast. You're catching fish immediately. Look, I mean, we're guides. We're not gods. You know,
right.
I mean, weather patterns affect largemouth probably worse than any other sport fish out there. And it gets awfully tough on us sometimes. Like right now, this morning I had a trip out, you know, we're out with y'all. You know, you talked to the guys and you saw how well we'd done, but the wind kicked up and it trashed everything we were fishing this morning. So, I mean, we're reverting to areas that we can fish, you know, right? You know, we can fish this area and the water's not in that bad a shape. Here's a great tip for the Potomac River. If you're fishing an area and the water's clear and the wind comes up and trashes the place, leave.
Just get out of there.
The fish here are used to fairly clear water.
So you're looking for clear water.
Looking for stained to clear water. The dirty water, they just won't bite. I mean, it's a tough thing to come out here. I mean, you travel. Some guys, like one of the boys that was with me this morning, traveled up from South Carolina, and you know, it's a tough thing to come up from a place like that and learn a new body of water all of a sudden. It's a total, I mean, he was expecting a little river is what he was expecting. This place fishes like a lake. It's so big. You got 85 miles of fishable largemouth water just as the river flows, plus bays and creeks and stuff, and finding out where the fish are and stuff. Here's another great tip for you. If you're in a grass bed fishery, always fish the grass. I mean, because you talk to Rick Klon or Nixon or any of those the big guns out on the pro trail, when they go to a place with grass in it, what do they do first? They go to the grass, and then they go to the hard structure. They always look around at like the wood and bridge pilings, stuff like that, points and stuff, creek channels. They always look at all that stuff, but the grass is the first thing they look at.
So, and this place does have a lot of grass.
Oh, it's got a ton of grass. We'll end up down on some of the grass flats. There's a lot of submerged grass in here that's not up to the surface yet. We have hydrilla and milfoil, water celery, coontail. We've got like 7 different star grass, 7 different varieties of grass that grow in here and grow in here in abundance. People are saying about how our fishery is, our grass beds are declining, and they're thinking that they're cycling. And what's happening is that our winds are killing the grass off. If you took a black plastic bag and put it around a tree, what would happen to the tree?
It would kill it.
It would die, right, because the light's not getting to the leaves. Well, when you take a grass flat and it constantly gets stirred up, it's real muddy and real chocolate, what eventually happens is the grass starts to get weak, and eventually it will die off if it doesn't get sunlight soon. And we've had such extreme winds. I mean, water hasn't been clear enough to sight fish in the river, except for, like I was telling you earlier, an hour. I got an hour of sight fishing earlier in the year. The wind just keeps blowing on us, man. It keeps stirring up the grass flats and turning them into chocolate.
And the grass don't have a chance to grow.
It's really beginning to bother me, because a lot of our grasses uptown have not come back this year, and it's because of the winds. It's absolutely, they're not poisoned. They haven't been cut back by the government or anything, any of that junk that people are speculating about. It's all because of our weather patterns. They're not cycling because they've used the nutrition out of the soil. None of that stuff. It's all
basically
because
just our weather pattern that's doing it.
Our weather is very cyclatory. I don't even know if that's the proper word. It cycles.
Cyclical,
It goes through cycles. And our weather patterns right now, it's like heavy winds, man. That's the main deal right now. It's blowing out of the southeast at 15 miles an hour, and it's enough to put 2-foot chop on the river, especially with the outgoing tide, and stir up the grass flats enough to turn them to chocolate and not catch any fish out of them. That's why we're in here where we are.
Versatechs, the all-American rods. Whether it's saltwater or freshwater, Versatechs rods are the rods for you. Versatechs, known for its high-quality material and workmanship, builds fishing rods that meet the most exacting needs of today's fishermen. Whether you're a saltwater angler in search of tuna or a freshwater fly fisherman, Versatechs builds a fishing rod for you. Versatechs, American-made for a lifetime. Ask for Versatechs at these quality tackle dealers.
Established in 1935, Dillon Haney is a full-service insurance agency. Currently, Dillon Haney serves the insurance needs of over 3,000 families and over 500 businesses in the tri-state area. Our offices include a state-of-the-art computer system for instant rate comparisons with the country's finest insurance companies. Our objective is to form a partnership between you and our agency, providing you with the coverage and claim service that you deserve. At Dillon Haney, we don't work for the insurance company, we work for you.
All right, Bill, I know we're out here. You're going to be fishing the BASS circuit this year. A lot of guys say, what a life. Give us just a little bit about the life on the Bass Trail, the BASS trail.
It's a lot of hard work, man. I tell you what, if you want to do well on that trail, you got to put your time and energy into it. I fished the 9091 trail and ended up 54th at the end of it, which isn't too bad. But I haven't had the financial ability to go back on the trail, and this year I've had a couple sponsors step up to help me out to be able to get back out on the trail. And I tell you what, it's no easy life.
It's not the life that everybody says.
No,
what I could do that.
It's a tough one. I mean, it's just like guiding. I mean, we're out here sun up to sundown. I mean, I fish full time for a living. I'm spending my kids' inheritance right now. I don't make a lot of money doing this, and if it wasn't for sponsor help, I wouldn't be able to fish the pro trail and be able to fish full time like I do. I really appreciate all the sponsors that have helped me out.
Yeah, the sponsorship is real important to keep you going.
It is, you know, product. You know, I've got a couple of sponsors, like I said, who stepped up this year and are going to help me fishing the pro trail by, you know, taking care of my entries and stuff. But I'm going to go out and pre-fish for a week, and then the tournament lasts a week too. So for every tournament I fish, I'm gone from home for 2 weeks. And if I don't cash, I don't make any money. You know, so take, you know, 8 weeks of your income away and see, you know. Yeah. that's a tough one there too. It's financially it hurts you. I mean, the entries on the trail or just on the invitationals are $600, and then you've got, you know, all your expenses on top, your hotel, your food, your gasoline. These things aren't fuel efficient.
No.
I mean, this is the Mercury outboard is one of the most fuel efficient outboards on the market. But still, I mean, you can burn through $50, $60 worth of gasoline alone just in your boat. And then you've got all your travel and stuff in your truck too. I mean, there's a lot of wear and tear. You've got, okay, truck and boat right there, there's over $40,000 worth of investment. 40 grand right there,
just
okay?
Before you even start fishing.
I mean, that doesn't include a rod or a reel or line or baits, or you probably got $60,000, $70,000 worth of an investment going before you ever even hit the trail. And then you have all this time and energy that you have to put into. When I go out and pre-fish, hey man, it's sun up to sundown, covering as much water as I can, trying to learn as much as I can about the body of water. You know, thank goodness they come here every once in a while. They are coming here again this fall. So that helps me out here. That cuts some of my expenses down. Right. But when you go to New York and Georgia and Alabama and these boys that have to travel out to Texas and stuff, I mean, that's a lot of cash, man.
That's a lot of time driving too.
A lot of time, a lot of cash. You know, drive 1,600 miles to see how you feel.
And then
that's
fish.
One. And then go fish 12 hours every darn day. I mean, it's a gruel, it's a grind, but I mean, I enjoy the sport. I've done well in the sport, and you know, the only way to continue on in this is to do well on the pro trail. So that's what I pretty much, if I want to continue and get better and, you know, better sponsors and all that stuff, I have to do well on the pro trail. I've had several sponsors tell me, you know, all I need to do is win a good one, and I'm there. Yeah. You know, will be on the factory team at that point. Right now, I'm on national teams. And in order to get on the factory team where you're actually getting product and getting paid, you have to get nationally known. You know, that's the deal. That's the whole deal.
Well, Bill, I wish you nothing but the best, and I guess we'll see you on the Bassmasters plus Delaware Valley Outdoors, right?
There you go. No problem. I hope so.
Now let's catch some fish.
Yeah, let's quit messing around here. I'll have to show you this custom color on this short wart once we get this big and in. Nice fish, very nice fish.
Nice, ooh, nice, that's a quality fish.
Ate that short wart now. Come here, sweetheart. Now, the old belly in trick. You ever seen that one?
Yeah, that really slows them.
Yeah, it does. Well, if somebody held you by your belly, you wouldn't flop too much either. Ouch. Now let me show you what
Bill,
we did.
Is that about, would you say, is that the average size fish, bigger fish?
I'll take this fish anytime in any tournament, anywhere in the country. Yeah. I don't care where we are. No, that's a good fish. You know, it's probably about three pounds. She has spawned out. If she still was full of roe and wasn't so lean from spawning, she'd weigh a little bit more. She's over 3 pounds. It's a nice fish. Let's put her back. Let me show you this short wart here real quick. This is a storm short wart, chartreuse, with a little bit brown on the back. What I've done is I've taken a black magic marker and I've broken up the chartreuse a little bit.
Just to get a little bit of pattern.
Yeah, a little bit of pattern just to break it up some. And, you know, it's I don't know, confidence thing for me. And it's got that red front, so it gives them a target. You know. Yeah. And I've also put on owner treble hooks. I like these owners big time, but they're
look how sharp they are.
Awfully sticky.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
That's exactly what you want. And what we're doing is, like just with that little Bill Norman there, is taking out, casting it out on this flat, and just slow rolling. Just slow rolling. Well, we're actually digging the bottom here, and the bottom, I mean, it's so shallow in this little bay. But there was a little bite there, I think. It's so shallow in here. We're just digging along the bottom. The fish are hanging next to this emerging grass in here, and they're just coming up and eating the bait. It's a neat little thing to do that a lot of people don't do. It's a great little trick to try sometime.
That's a nice.
Throw
and
this
it's a smaller bait too.
Yeah, it is. It is a little compact bait. it's an excellent little deal. I like these things. It's a neat deal. You can't throw this in real thick grass beds though. All it'll do is get grassed up.
Yeah, yeah, hung up on
That fish about inhaled that thing. He was full of hooks.
Established in 1935, Dillon Haney is a full-service insurance agency. Currently, Dillon Haney serves the insurance needs of over 3,000 families and over 500 businesses in the tri-state area. Our offices include a state-of-the-art computer system for instant rate comparisons with the country's finest insurance companies. Our objective is to form a partnership between you and our agency, providing you with the coverage and claim service that you deserve. At Dillon Haney, we don't work for the insurance company, we work for you.
We're out in the main part of the Potomac now. And
Off the wind a little bit.
Off the wind, thank God. And we're on some big grass beds. Bill, tell us about fishing grass beds out here on the Potomac.
We have a variety of grass beds on the Potomac River. The stuff that you see here is the stuff that comes up first. The grass that you see here is what comes up first. This is milfoil. When the soil temperature reaches, the biologists say 52 degrees, the milfoil will start to grow. Sunlight hitting through the water to the soil itself. The milfoil will start to grow at 52 degrees. And this is the first to come and the last to go. It's the hardiest grass that we have. We have about 7 different varieties of major grass that are in the Potomac. That's really what brought the Potomac River back, was the grass beds coming in, plus a variety of other factors, you know, Lyndon Johnson Clean Water Act. Let's not get into all that stuff. This is prime bass cover, man. Rats in the summertime, and you can see that the grass is just starting to get up. It hasn't topped out yet, meaning leaning over on the surface. We are on a higher tide right now, so yeah, there's more water on this grass. At low tide, it is matted over a little bit. What comes in after that, after the milfoil's in, is your hydrilla and your water celery, your star grass, eelgrass, water weed, which looks like a pond weed. There's a whole bunch of different types of grasses that come in, and it will actually look like a carpet in the summertime.
And then
you
fish the edges or the top?
Fish edges, and you fish through it with rats, you know, fishing over the top of it with rats. Fish the inside edges are awesome. You get a nice, that's what we're doing right now, is an inside edge. This is spawn season, so the fish are in 4 foot of water or less, so you mainly concentrate on your inside edges. With the water being a little bit darker like this, you need something that flashes a bit, like a spinnerbait. Plastic worms for direct presentation are very, very good. This is the deal, man. Fishing grass beds. This is what really brought on the bass fishery that we have here, and this is one of the best bass fisheries in the country. It really is. There he is. Nice fish. Spinnerbait, man.
You got it right out of that clump of weeds.
Yep. Inside edge of the weeds, my friends. Inside edge of the weeds. I didn't bent my spinnerbait all up. See ya.
Okay, we're here. We're doing our tackle box section now. Bill, you just handed me this. Let's talk about this, Laura, as first one.
That's Potomac River is one of the better topwater fisheries. Once the water gets good and clear, grass gets up, clears the water up, turns into a great topwater fishery. This is a thing called a chug bug. It's made by Storm Lures. It's got a real good rattle in it. I trade the hooks out, and I also put my own tails on it. They come with just a mylar tail. I put chicken feathers on it with a little bit of mylar, and it gives a little bit better flash to it. That's one of my favorite colors. It's called a bleeding shad. I wanted to show you a knot here for that thing. It's called a loop knot. I don't know if you can see this mono or not. You tie an overhand knot in the line, okay? Take the tag end of your line, run it through the eyelet, okay, like that. Come up through the knot, just like that. The line's laying on the same side. Cinch it up a little bit. Always grab the knot between my thumb and forefinger. Okay, you spin it 5, 6 times, okay, and go back through the knot so as all the lines are laying on the same side of the knot, okay? Wet it so it doesn't burn when you cinch up, and you cinch it up, okay? This gives you 100% line strength knot. Bite the tag off, cut the tag off, and it's a loop. It gives the bait freedom of movement.
So it really makes that bait.
Right. Move much freer in the water, much more erratic action to it. You can actually walk this spook like a, walk this.
Yeah.
can actually walk this bait just like a Zara spook. And Zara spooks are one of my favorite topwaters down here for big fish. We're already catching them on it. It's, you know, mid-May here. We're already catching fish on Zara spooks and the chug bug. That's an excellent little bait. Another thing, spinner baits are very, very effective down here. That's one of our, if I had to have one, that'd be it. It's a 3/8 ounce white and chartreuse gold blades. Variety of sizes, variety of colors, of course. You have, you know, this is one of my favorites here. I do like this little. This is a little spinner bait that we were throwing today. It's a little tandem willow, both nickel. Nobody throws these things, man. And I think it looks more like bait fish than anything else in the water. Is these little tandem willow leaves. As you saw, we caught some fish on here. Here's another thing too. This is new on the market. This is called a fat bob. It's a little ringworm with like a kaolin tail. Hold on to that spinner bait up here. Okay, it's got like a kaolin tail on it. You just rig these Texas rig, and the tail really moves. Great thing to do with a fat bob when you get the head all torn up. Okay, you can't use it anymore. Break it off, and it's an excellent spinner bait trailer. I mean, excellent. I use this thing on spinner baits all the time. Fat bobs come in a variety of colors. I mean, I tell you what, that little spinner bait, that little trailer there, moves through the water real well, ripples really well. Yeah, really moves good. Another thing to do is always make sure when you put it on so the sickle goes down. If the sickle goes up, it'll foul your blades a little bit. It's a little tip for you.
Okay, and that's about it. We did our worm section and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's this week's edition of the Tackle Box.
So that thing way down, you want to be bumping the bottom. There's a little bit of grass coming up towards the shoreline. And that stuff that's just starting to come up will get on big time. Around this point here, if this tide has started to flow out, which I think it has, it's usually very good. Got him?
Yeah.
Size? Pardon?
We'll see.
As I pass the proverbial, that's a nice fish. Sucker staying out. Very nice fish.
Played on that edge just like you said.
That'll do. That's a nice fish. Did you slow your spinnerbait down a little bit?
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nice fish.
Huh?
Fat too.
See ya.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
All right, we'll slow it down a little bit more here.
When the wind blows in here and turns this place to mud, leave.
Just might as well get out of it. I can see with that.
Oh, that's a better fish.
There we go.
Ooh, that's a very good fish.
There we go. Nice fish here.
Very good fish. Very good fish. That's a very nice fish there. We'll take that one. Ooh, well, yeah, we'll take that one. Anytime. Yes.
Ooh, that's a pretty fish.
It's a good fish there. We'll take it. Hey, clock that spinnerbait, man. Ton of bricks. Forceps, handy tool. Get way down in there. I mean, she swallowed that big, buddy. Nice fish. See ya. Another good tip for you too, when the wind blows, throw a spinnerbait. You know, the wind can be your friend. We've been discussing that quite a bit here. The wind can also be your mortal enemy. I can fish anything. I can fish rain, I can fish snow, I can't fish 3-footers, I'm sorry.
It's tough. It is real tough.
It's very, very tough. I cannot fish in 3-foot waves. I can't do it. I guess I could. If the water stays clear, absolutely. I can fish 3-foot waves because you just roll along with it.
Right.
But when the water gets trashed, man, it's just like Florida, man. When you're fishing down in Florida for largemouth on the beds down there, then you get a windstorm and you bite.
Jeez, he smacked that good.
You get a windstorm in down there, and the place goes to chocolate. Get out. Just leave.
Yeah.
Same deal up here. These fish the grass bed fish are used to clear water. And when the water turns chocolate on them,
they just
see you. They're there. They draw tight. They have a strike zone about that big.
You got to really
put it right in front of their face. And good thing to do. I mean, if it's the only group of fish you got going, you know, sure, throw a vibrating bait, a trap if you can get it through the grass, like the inside edge. Sure, we can throw a trap here, no problem.
Yeah,
throw a spinnerbait with big blades, a lot of vibration, a lot of flash.
I know I like it when the tide's turned, either way, which way to turn.
I just like tide movement. Salt water is a little bit different than fresh water. I just want the water moving for largemouth in the Potomac here. I find that slack tides are tougher. I also find that, you know, high outgoing tides are very good certain times of year. Another thing too, when you're fishing shallow water like this, when the tide gets way out, boy, it can get tough. It can get awfully tough. It's time to slow down and throw your little baits at them. You know, when the tide's in like it is here right now, spinner baits and all that other stuff works well. When the tide gets totally out here, you're only in about a foot of water. And what you really got to do is you got to slow down and start throwing those little worms at them and stuff. You have to fish the tides more than anything else down here, is fishing the tides themselves, doing different things at different times. On a high full tide, I normally won't be fishing the outside edge. Oh man, I can't believe I missed that fish. On a, you know, a slack out tide, I normally won't fish the inside edge, but it's not always true. There's no laws, you know.
No, just.
I mean, here's one thing: if you're on fish, don't worry about the tides, just fish them.
That's exactly right.
Fish the fish, not the tides. One thing I can say about tides and Mother Nature and stuff like that, don't go against Mother Nature. Right?
Yeah.
You know, definitely don't go against Mother Nature.
Well, Bill, I want to thank you again for a great day of fishing. Learning is unbelievable what you've talked to us about, told us. Once more, how do we get in touch with you if we want to go down to the Potomac and have some great, great largemouth fishing?
I run a company called Potomac Guide Service. It's in Gaithersburg, Maryland, 301-840-9521. I'm also in the phone book under William Kramer. Guide Service is in the phone book. No problem. And that's how you get a hold of me.
So if you want to catch some great, great largemouth, big fish, come see Bill down here at Potomac, and we'll see you again next week on Delaware Valley Outdoors.